So any other areas that are great ones to look at?
Well, again, I think when you look through, these are individually done by zip code. And I think when you look through this, everything you and I are talking about is very evident here.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of similarities between 2015 and 2016.
I would agree with that, yeah.
But what I do realize, what I'm seeing is the residential real estate, the resale real estate is shockingly high.
I would agree with that as well.
It seems at this point, it's not unusual to see $1 million plus.
No, I agree with that, and it used to be so unusual to see it when we first started selling their homes that we sold when we were both young pups in the industry that were selling for $600,000,
Right.
$500,000, and they're now in the high $1 millions. So it's interesting to me, the dramatic increase. I know that in my own neighborhood we have just had a home that went under contract. It was listed at probably the highest price per square foot that we've ever seen in that part of Hyde Park.
Well, you know, Dallas, you bring that up because that was my next comment. The area west of Rome, around where you live, I was driving to one of the houses on Caravan, and it hit me that this area, within the past, maybe 4 or 5 years, has become such a huge draw that it probably, over all the real estate in Hyde Park, is bringing in the biggest change in cost.
There is, and I think that you and I have talked about this before. It goes back to the size of home, though, a lot of times too,
Right.
where you have one section of that neighborhood that has really huge homes. So the price per square foot, if you put the same price per square foot on it, you're talking about homes that where almost every one of them are going to be well into the mid to high million range, if not higher, 2.5 million. And then you're in that part of Hyde Park where I am, where really truly the majority of the homes are smaller bungalows. And they're going to fetch a higher dollar price per square foot.
Absolutely.
Simply because at $500,000 for a 1,200 square foot home, it becomes affordable for that person who wants to be in Hyde Park, but cannot go into that $1.5 million range. So you were going to see, I think we see that right now, where we're seeing probably on the larger homes a little bit of a drop in price per square foot.
Right.
And at the same time, in the smaller homes, we're seeing an increase in price per square foot.
You and I both know that the bungalow is probably the most desired home in Tampa, and has been, particularly people looking at Hyde Park, because
Right.
obviously that's where most of them
And
are.
we see that in Palma as well.
Yes, you're 100% correct. So, that's kind of an interesting market unto itself, because that never really got as low as everything else.
It didn't. It wasn't hit as badly
Right.
as everything else. You're absolutely right.
There have been a lot of first-time home buyers who've left South Tampa to go to Seminole and some of the areas where they can also get bungalows at a more, I'm not going to say reasonable, at a price
affordable.
very different, affordable,
It's
exactly.
affordable, yeah.
But when the market fell, that was one of the first places to dive down.
It was because you were dealing with a lot of first-time home buyers that had purchased homes that couldn't afford them at that point. However, I will say that the Seminole Heights, Riverside Heights, even Tampa Heights, those neighborhoods have really rebounded
It's
with a
amazing,
vengeance.
yes.
I mean, I don't think that we've ever seen the price points in Seminole Heights and Riverside Heights that we're seeing today. It's remarkable.
Well, and exactly, and that's what, it was also one of the first to come back.
It
was the
was.
end of what I was saying. And what's neat about that area, Dallas, is there are retail who are putting some serious money into the area. You've got quite a few really good restaurants.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's amazing up there. It's a different neighborhood than when I lived there 23 years ago.
So I didn't even remember you lived there.
Right
That's
when we
neat.
first started working together. I was in Seminole Heights for about a year.
Well, the other thing, it's fun because it's also gotten a certain reputation, and there's a relatively new consignment store for furniture consignment, which is kind of the retro.
Right.
And that is what Seminole Heights was and continues to be.
Yeah,